Okay. I'd like to call this Urbana City Council meeting to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Barnes.
Here.
Mr. Bowersox.
Here.
Ms. Chenoweth.
Present.
Mr. Lewis. Mr. Roberts.
Here.
Mr. Smythe. Ms. Stevenson.
Present.
Mayor Pressing.
Thank you. Are there any additions to the agenda this evening? If not, petitions and communications. We have Kim Martini would like to speak before the council about the audible pedestrian signal at Philo Road in Florida.
Okay.
Mr. Martini, if you could say your name into the microphone and give your address, please.
My address? Okay. Microphone? Yep. Yeah, this is Kim Dwayne Martini, 1502 East Florida Avenue, apartment 233, Urbana. I am concerned for other blind people, like Cindy Combs. She would help her getting across Springfield Avenue where she lives at, and I think she and David Combs, her husband, are looking for a home right now, and I'd like to see the audible sound signals wherever they move to get a house on the street corner that she lives. And for myself and other senior citizens in Florida House, I'd like to see the sound signals develop, and that'll be the day. And I'm concerned about ice and snow hitting them, and would it affect them? Mr. Gray, would it affect them or not? How would it affect them? And does it cost to be repaired if ice and snow hits them and lightning should hit them or something like that? And I'm concerned about the sidewalks. That's my other issue. Getting the Mini Mart gas station in there. Some of the sidewalks are rough and cracked. And all the way down to County Market, I think they're going to upgrade, aren't you? Upgrade the sidewalks from where McDonald's is, clear down to County Market. That would be nice to see. And how much that would cost? Are there any taxes with this problem, these two problems that I have presented here? Also, on Bradley Avenue, over there by the main building, we need a sound signal. I know it's a rough neighborhood over there, and there's a lot of black nationalities that live there, and they just won't hardly leave anything alone. If we put sound signals over there, help clients get across Bradley there, or catch the Gray East, I'd rather go down to Williamsburg. That would be easiest, catch the Gray East on Williamsburg and Bradley. And that way you don't have to cross Bradley. But sometimes there are cars in the way of the sidewalks where I can get down to Williamsburg, to get across, to catch the Gray East easier that way. Okay, that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Martini.
You're welcome.
Are there any questions? If not, thank you for your input. Appreciate it. Are there other petitions or communications from members of the public this evening? Okay, members of the council, any petitions or communications? Okay, if not, the chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. We have a motion.
Second.
There's a motion by Robert, second by Dennis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That carries. Next we have
Ordinance number 2005-07115, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a development incentive agreement with CTC Properties, LLC. On behalf of the committee, I so move approval.
we have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Lynn, a second by Brandon. Any discussion on this item?
I just want to point out that the changes requested by our committee during our meeting were made, and they are made in the document as well. And we also have a view from all sides of the potential development. So
Great. Thanks to our staff for following up with that. Dennis?
I was pleased to see the development plans too, and I think my impression was that there was going to be less space for the apartment complex, and there would be a larger, slightly larger retail area. And I was a little bit disappointed to see really the small comparative area of the retail space. But all in all, it's a very positive and useful product presented by the developer, and I do support it.
Any other comments? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That carries.
Item 1B, ordinance number 2005-07-116, an ordinance approving an extension to a redevelopment agreement with Allen Strong. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
I would second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That motion carries. Next.
Item number 1C, ordinance number 2005-07-117, it's an ordinance revising the annual budget ordinance. And on behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second. We have a motion, motion by Lynn and a second by Heather. Is there any discussion on this? If not, I was just informed that we need a roll call both on this vote and the prior two votes. So we'll go ahead and take a roll call on this vote, and then we'll re-vote on the two prior items. So would the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Barnes?
Yes?
Mr. Bowersox?
Yes.
Ms. Chenoweth?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes. So we have, those are six
So-
ayes.
Ordinance 2005-07-115,
Yes, so if we could have a motion on the first ordinance.
so moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Lynn, a second by Brandon. This refers to ordinance number 2005-07-115. Could we have the clerk call the roll, please?
Ms. Barnes?
Yes?
Mr. Bowersox?
Yes.
Ms. Chenoweth?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes. And the chair would entertain a motion about ordinance number 2005-07-116.
So moved.
Seconded.
We have a motion, a second. Could we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Barnes?
Yes?
Mr. Bowersox?
Yes.
Ms. Chenoweth?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes. Okay, so next we'll go back to
Ordinance number 2005-07-118, an ordinance revising the annual budget ordinance, and I so move on behalf of the committee.
Second. We have a motion by Lynn, a second by Heather. Any discussion? If not, could we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Barnes?
Yes?
Mr. Bowersox?
Yes.
Ms. Chenoweth?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Item number 1E, ordinance number 2005-07-090, an ordinance amending the Health and Sanitation Code. I so move on behalf of the committee.
And I would second that
We
motion.
have a motion by Lynn, a second by Dennis. Any discussion? If not, could we have a roll call?
Ms. Barnes?
Yes?
Mr. Bowersox?
Yes.
Ms. Chenoweth?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes. Lynn?
Our last item, 1F, it's the mayoral appointment, CU Joint Cable Commission and UPTV Commission. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second.
We have a motion by Lynn, a second by Brandon. Any discussion? If not, we'd have a roll call.
Don't need one?
You don't need a roll.
Not for this one.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That carries 6-0. The next committee of the whole, Lynn could give us the date and location?
The date and the location would be August
The 15th, actually. It'll be
August
next week.
15th at 7 p.m.
Wait, the next committee of the whole is next.
True. Tonight is is actually the next
the
one.
15th is the council meeting.
Yes,
Okay,
and the
so next-
22nd is the next committee of the whole.
Okay, yes, we've
So let's
confused
recap. Let's
Let's
recap.
recap.
Okay, so tonight will be a committee of the whole, all right, just following this meeting.
Oh.
Then on the the 15th, we will have a council meeting, and then on August 22nd, same time, same place, 7 p.m., will be a committee of the whole.
Reports of officers, any reports of officers? Bruce?
I don't have much tonight, just we do have an economic development report for July. You've had several emails on what's going on as well in terms of projects that we're working on. A lot of things going on in terms of the activities for the administration as well as community development and engineering. So we're just moving forward, and things are pretty good. So.
Okay, on to new business. We have one item that was sent to us from Plan Commission. Ordinance number 2005-08-124. This is an ordinance amending the zoning map of the city of Urbana, Illinois. This refers to the rezoning of 903 West Nevada Street from the Conservation, Recreation, Education to the B3U, which is a general business university designation. So we'll hear from Dr. Tyler on this.
Thank you. This rezoning, again, is from CRE, Conservation, Recreation, Education, to B3U, General Business University, and the address is 903 West Nevada. What's located at this location is a 10-unit rooming house, and there's some additional data on the use. The Plan Commission studied this case on August 21st and voted 7-1 to recommend approval of the rezoning. We've given highlights in the council memorandum, including descriptions of the two zones, the current zone and the proposed one. CRE, Conservation, Recreation, Education, is really a catch-all zone that includes a lot of the university holdings, park lands in the city, and some other institutional uses. And it includes in its purpose and permitted uses does not involve residential use. Neither by right nor conditional nor special use. And this particular property's been in residential use for many, many years, at least 65 years. And that includes both before that CRE designation on the site in approximately 1980, and then post-dating that by another 25 years. So it's been a legally non-conforming use at this site for all of these years. Then we have a description on the proposed zone, which is B3U, General Business University. This particular district's intended to provide areas for high-density residential uses to ensure an adequate supply of housing for persons who desire to reside near the campus. And there's a description of this. It can include a mix of residential and commercial, some commercial uses, or just residential uses. And I wanted to remind council and to the Plan Commission as well that we are looking at a zoning designation with all of its potential uses, not the specific project that's being contemplated at this location. However, for illustrative purposes, there was a potential schematic included in the Plan Commission packet for an apartment building to be relocated. Plan Commission did review the LaSalle National Bank criteria, and I won't go over those again. There was a good discussion there at the Plan Commission. There was also a letter of concern submitted by the University of Illinois, and this was submitted to the Plan Commission and specifically stated some opposition to the case, concern about compatibility or conformance to the city's comprehensive plan, the university campus master plan, and a 1991 agreement between the city and university whereby it was agreed to consult on development cases and to undergo joint planning. First, on the university master plan, it is important to review this document, and we did so by providing copies of the master plan to the Plan Commission and entered that into the record. And we have also in the council packet a copy of the master plan as it pertains to this particular site. And you'll see that the site is shown on the master plan as non-university building, and our opinion is that the proposed rezoning would not conflict with this designation, and that it would merely allow for the continued use as residential. I also noted that the University Master Plan was an important component in developing the comprehensive plan update, and in fact is included in the existing conditions report. Next, the discussion on conformance with the Urbana Comprehensive Plan, and there was some confusion about how the maps were indicating this site. In the Plan Commission memorandum, it talked about the site being designated institutional, and reevaluating the maps and using a little better assessment of where exactly the site lay, we found that there's really two two maps that show the site. One on land use map number 8 shows a combination of institutional and community business at the site, whereas a larger scale map, land use map number 9, clearly shows the entire site as community business, and that designation is illustrated on page 63 of the plan and shows that this particular type of use would be consistent with that. Having said all that, though, it's really important to remember that the comprehensive plan is to give overall guidance. It's not to be used as a parcel-specific zoning type of tool. But again, in looking at the policies and the other annotations in this vicinity, we felt that the proposed rezoning to B3U was entirely consistent with the comprehensive plan. And there's much discussion of that in the Plan Commission minutes. Summary of findings from Plan Commission and staff would be that this subject property is located in an area that has a continuing need for medium-density residential and commercial uses, that the proposed site is generally consistent with the overall goals of the 2005 Comprehensive Plan and the future land use intent for the area, that the location of the site in close proximity to the University of Illinois campus makes it appropriate for the rezoning to B3U. The petitioner's request would help to accommodate a proposed redevelopment of the site that would be generally compatible with development in the immediate vicinity. The proposed rezoning appears to generally meet the LaSalle case criteria. The proposed rezoning appears to be consistent with the university master plan designation of the site as containing a non-university building. And the proposed rezoning is consistent with the comprehensive plan designation of the site as community business as depicted on map number 9. And so the options before City Council would be to approve the request or to deny the request. Recommendation by staff and Plan Commission would be to approve the request. And we have attached to the memorandum the various maps that I've referenced this evening and the correspondence from the university, as well as a reply by our special counsel for the city. Also this evening, Dave Barr and Russ Dankert are here and can answer any questions about the property.
Are there any questions? Brandon?
I'm sorry, I don't have a question. I do have a motion. I would move approval of an ordinance amending the zoning map to change the zoning to B3U.
We have a motion. Is there a
I'll
second? Motion by Brandon, second by Heather. Is there a discussion? Brandon, go
I
ahead.
could briefly speak to the motion. In looking through this case, it's first off clear to me that the U of I's old master plan and new master plan show this as a non-university building. And so this rezoning is consistent with that plan as I see it. Furthermore, Urbana's comprehensive plan shows this area as neighborhood business and says that we want to preserve neighborhood business there. And this rezoning seems perfectly compatible with that. Furthermore, it fits the LaSalle criteria, and the site for 50 or 60 years has been non-conforming and has had a residence there despite its zoning. And so changing the zoning to actually fit what has been there for 50 or 60 years also seems perfectly acceptable. I will support this motion and urge other council members to do so tonight. I do want to add one more thing. In this debate or discussion the last few weeks, there has been some communication between the U of I and Urbana and reference to the 1991 agreement between the U of I and Urbana about this area. And both parties, what struck me, both parties said, we upheld our side of this, but this agreement is still not working for us. The U of I wrote and said, they did their part, and Urbana wrote back, and we've done our part, yet both parties feel that the agreement might not be working. There is a new administration. This agreement was signed by a chancellor a few chancellors ago and a mayor a few mayors ago. There's a new administration at the U of I, and there's a new administration and council here, and it seems to me that we have to work together here, that we need each other. That Urbana needs the U of I to continue to be a world-class institution, to bring the world's best scholars here, and to bring business and spin-off economic development and to grow our city. And similarly, the U of I absolutely needs us. The U of I needs Urbana to be a world-class city so that we can help them recruit the best faculty and continue to be a leading institution. So we've got to do this together. And I would urge the new administration at the U of I and here to enter some discussions and renew our working relationship again so that there's a foundation of being able to work together when cases like this come up.
Amen.
Very well said.
Any other discussion? Bruce?
Just, the mayor's not here tonight, but in speaking on her behalf, that process has begun, and there has been a high-level meeting between the university and the city, and we will begin to work on trying to tweak what our relationship is and perhaps have a new understanding of an agreement that meets both of the objectives of both parties. So that process has begun, and couldn't agree with you more.
Any other? Go ahead, Rob.
Will that generate a new document?
Very possible.
More documents. Okay. Does this require a roll call? Okay. Yeah, would the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Barnes?
Yes.
Mr. Bowersox?
Yes.
Ms. Shenoweth?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
That passes 6-0. And with no further business before us, we stand adjourned, and I would ask if we just wait a few minutes for the clerk to change the